What's up, everybody? This is Jeremiah, and today I'm reacting to the video, the most slandered characters of all time, but by Osama Lama. Now, I don't know, there's some characters in anime that are slandered a lot. Some, yes, should be slandered, and some underrated, like, they don't slander for no reason, and some, like, 50-50, I don't know. But I don't know who's getting the slander, who's not getting the slander, I don't know. But we're gonna here to find out by our good boy Osama Lama. So without further ado, let's react to the video. Hey, okay, hey.
When looking at big corporations and companies, people will generally have a preconceived idea of that company in their head. This image of the company is largely shaped by the company's public relations, better known as their PR. PR can be broadly thought of as how well the public perceives the image of something. The idea of PR can even extend past large corporations to individual people, with the two entities sharing something in common: PR teams. These PR teams are people who shape and maintain a positive image for their clients. Now, when it comes to a non-professional setting or context, PR can function a bit differently. Characters in media don't have traditional PR structures. Not only is their PR shaped on how well they display themselves in their respective series, but a good portion of their PR teams are made up of their own fans. The better your PR team is, the more resistant you are to agendas and slander, even if you do bad. However, not every character can have good PR, and as a result, agendas will be made to make them look as bad as possible no matter the scenario. So in today's video, we're going to look at some characters with the worst PR imaginable, learn how their PR got so bad, and see if their reputation can be salvaged. And spoiler alert, some of these characters are cooked beyond belief. And for the very first character, I want to talk about Kazuya from Rent-A-Girl.
Yeah, I don't know if he can be saved, bruh. Legitimately speaking, his own author is hating on him, bro. His own author is putting his downfall on, bro. I don't know if he can be saved. I don't know. To be fair with you, I don't know, bro. I don't know. It's a dime and a dozen to be saved.
Let me be serious. This guy's PR isn't even PR. What he shows is who he is. The first character I actually want to talk about is Spider-Man.
Yes, sir.
Peter Parker Spider-Man. The character of the main universe's Peter Parker has really been put through the gutter over the years.
Yes.
Since the writers just gave
even the comics too. Look at the comics.
Absolute worst storylines for his characters. His reputation has been on a downward trajectory. And to be clear, this is more so of a mainline comic book Spider-Man problem. As many people know, Peter Parker can't catch a break. Loses his wife to another guy. This nonsense with Gwen Stacy and Norman Osborn, the Clone Sagas, etc. The worst part is, it's not even like every comic is bad. It's just that the bad comics are too notable. Half of these stories just create a new random problem to make Peter's life worse and just make him go through the same cycle of suffering over and over and over.
True, yes.
One of the most infamous examples is this comic, Spider-Man: One More Day. Peter chooses to sacrifice his marriage with MJ to save Aunt May from getting shot. And let's be real here, guys, this is complete BS. Aunt May isn't some spring chicken. She's an elderly woman at this point. I'm not trying to be grim here, but let's take a step back. You choose to make a deal with essentially the devil that changes the timeline to make your marriage non-existent.
I'm sorry that happened. But yo, first off, that's a bad idea on you, Peter. That is legitimately a bad idea. Making a deal with the literal the devil, that's a bad idea. That's a red flag number one. That's red flag number one. That's red flag number one, bro. Like, no. Aunt May, I'm sorry. She in the 80s, 90s. Hey. Like, come on, Pete. I know we all love Aunt May. We all love Aunt May. She's a staple in the Spider-Verse, man. She's a staple. But hey, it's a time to be born and a time to die. Ecclesiastes chapter 3.
Someone who is probably near death anyways. I hate Marvel so much sometimes.
The writers, boy, it's the writers.
Typically do Spider-Man justice, but are still kind of representative of modern Spider-Man's bad PR. I was scrolling through Twitter one day, and I saw someone say something along the lines of modern Spider-Man media being either a retelling of one of his good stories from decades ago, or some weird effed up storyline to make Peter Parker suffer more. And
suffer more.
It's true. There are 3 cinematic universes and multiple cartoons for Spider-Man, and each has some story with Peter being a teenager, getting his powers, and learning to be a hero. This makes them all essentially new takes of the Ultimate Spider-Man series, which, trust me, it's perfectly fine that they do that, but it kind of helps the point of good Spider-Man media almost always needing to take inspiration from the same stories. From what I've seen, there are only a handful of ways people see Peter Parker Spider-Man. The best reputation he has is because of versions of his character that either A, retell older stories, B, have him as a teenager, or C, both. It feels like good adult Peter Parker stories are harder to come by nowadays. Other than that, I only really see people talking about Spider-Man being the character who just suffers over and over again because his writers hate him. This mainline Spider-Man is not the one we all know and love and can relate to. Spider-Man fans can only do so much. Like, bro, any image with this Paul guy and MJ kinda just nukes this guy's PR anytime it's brought up. Y'all honestly gotta take it up with the writers at this point.
Yeah,
Spider-Man is one of the most popular superheroes.
Same with the Invincible writers. They have the same. The Invincible writers and Spider-Man writers are legit the same. Like, they're Invincible writers and Spider-Man writers are on different sides of the same coin. They're on the different sides of the same coin. Basically, they be hating on Mark, and they be hating on Peter, and then the coin is the coin of hating, basically. But with Mark, it's like, he needs it, basically, because he been taking L's a lot lately, and he's not pushing himself that he needs to be, that people want him to be. He's just like limiting. He's like holding it back. Same with Spider-Man, but like, hey, Spider-Man has his moments of where, yo, time to freaking lock in. I know Mark has it too, but Spider-Man, it's more, we see it more with him.
Most popular characters ever, and this is how he gets treated. Crazy work. Now, I'm gonna keep it all the way funky. Spider-Man's PR is merely just a warm-up for this video. His PR may be worse relative to some of his peers, but overall, you can still support Spider-Man and not be verbally, or literally, shoved in a locker. But I cannot say the same thing for the next 2 characters. And before I get into those 2, if you're enjoying the video so far and you're new, you might as well subscribe. And I think that means it's time we get to the main characters of this video, Deku and Megumi. These 2 stand above all when it comes to bad PR, and I really want y'all to understand just how bad it is. This tier list shows how garbage their reputation is. Their mere existence creates a new level of bad PR, and I suppose we'll get into Megumi first. Megumi gets slandered for so many things, but a few main points come to mind for me personally. Firstly, we need to talk about the 8-handled sword Divergent Scylla Divine General Elephant in the room, Maharaga.
Yes,
I've never seen a character get slandered.
I'm telling you right now, that's just like his final trump card. When all else fails, with this treasure, I summon. Fam, bro. Like, you gotta upgrade your bag, bro. To be fair with you, he needs to upgrade his bag. He needs to upgrade his bag. For real, he needs to upgrade his bag. That's all I gotta say. He has to upgrade his bag.
There's so much for using his abilities. The general sentiment in the anime community is that Megumi is always trying to summon Maharaga at any given point. And just so you know, it really doesn't help that they use Maharaga's summon sign and some of Megumi's promotional arts. Like, why on earth does a magazine have Megumi on the front cover trying to summon Maharaga? This is a setup and a half. Moreover, in 2 of the 4 JJK openings, he's trying to summon Maharaga, so it does not make him look good. And admittedly, it is very funny to slander a character for something like this. The memes of Megumi being a kamikaze fighter are funny, don't get me wrong. However, I really start to dislike when the slander starts to turn into misinformation, which is often seen with a character like Megumi. The sentiment that seems to be around Megumi and Maharaga is that he irrationally defaults to summoning Maharaga against any opponent, right? So let's all put on our detective hats and examine every single instance of Megumi attempting to or actually summoning Maharaga. The very first time we saw Megumi attempt to summon Maharaga was when Yuji had eaten Sukuna's finger and Ryomen Sukuna had been reincarnated. I repeat, Ryomen Sukuna, the strongest sorcerer in history, had been reincarnated in front of Megumi. Megumi knows this guy is bad news, so summoning Maharaga would be the most logical solution. Honestly, it's great that his first instinct is to go straight to his strongest ability rather than trying to start slow and get his face broken in. The second time he tries to summon Maharaga is, Well, would you look at that? It's our good old buddy Sukuna again. Quick, you're a grade 2 sorcerer being tasked to fight Ryoma Sukuna in a 1v1. What are you gonna do? A, don't use your final trump card and get murked. B, use your final trump card to take him out with you. Or C, ask Odin to lend you some haki.
C is not the applicable answer because that's a different universe and hockey don't work. So C is out the question. So my final answer would be B, obviously. Take him out with my final trump card. B is the obvious answer. It's B.
It's crazy because Mahoraga wasn't even his first choice. Megami actually tried to fight him and exhausted basically all of his options because Sukuna was ragdolling him across town. What you want him to do, just lie down on his side and die? The third time, and I'm using quotes for a reason, we see Megami try to summon Mahoraga is during his fight against Todo. I see people talk about this moment and interpret it as Megami trying to summon Mahoraga, and that's what really gets me mad. The slander got so bad that people believe that Megami was going to summon Mahoraga versus another Jujutsu sorcerer. Why would Megami throw away his own life and kill another student just because of some random 1v1? You know what's...
That's absolutely dumb. Why would he do that? People thought that he was going to use Mahoraga against... I forgot his name, sorry. I'm not total JJK fan, but that makes zero sense. If he was fighting a Sukuna or a guy that's close, a villain that's close to it, that's a viable answer to do. Use Mahoraga. But like against another student, man, that makes no sense.
Probably more likely, Megami was likely gonna summon one of the 4 other shadows he hadn't used in the series yet, like, I don't know, Max Elephant, which he showed in an arc later. The actual third time he tried to summon Mahoraga was versus Hanami, the special grade curse. And everyone, let's just understand that just because Gojo can destroy Hanami doesn't mean anyone could just beat her easily. Hanami was running through both the Kyoto and Tokyo Jujutsu students, and all attacks that Megami had seen used against her were ineffective. If Gojo couldn't already get inside the barrier, he's going to assume that no one is a match for this curse, i.e. it's Big Raga, the op stopper time. The 4th time he tried to summon Mahoraga is in a very similar scenario as we've seen with Megami before. Megami gets stuck 1v1ing a special grade curse, and sidebar, this is like the 5th time Megami was stuck fighting a special grade curse in the series. Megami was extremely unlucky in the first couple arcs. In this case, Megami has little reason to summon Mahoraga because he showed us that he was strong enough to take out the curse by himself. So I'll give the Megami slander crowd this one. Megami was kind of just giving up like a bum. The last time we see Megami try to summon Mahoraga in the anime is against Haruta when an already injured Megami, who's just been out of fights with Dagon and Toji, gets attacked yet again. At this rate, Megami knows he's probably gonna get murked by Haruta. Also, Sukuna is just in Shibuya running around free, so if everything is in the gutter right now, I might as well take out the enemy in front of me with me. And I'm not gonna talk about the last time we see Megami try to summon Mahoraga. I'm gonna just wait a couple months and we'll see how the anime watchers think about it.
What's up, everybody? Enjoying the video? That's great. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to know when I upload another video. Also, tune into the live streams. We live on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. So tune into whichever one that seems best for you. Also, join the Discord. Link in the description down below. Without further ado, let's get back into the video.
Overall, there was only one time that Megami didn't have a good reason to summon Mahoraga, and even then it can be argued. Oh my gosh, I haven't even gotten into the Potential Man meme. This singular image did irreparable damage to Megami's character. This is the type of slander image you only see every couple years, and this image inspired slander for other characters outside of JJK that we still see to this day. And the craziest part is, you can't even defend him for this. Most of this image is true. It was always explicitly or implicitly mentioned that Megami has a lot of potential, especially with Sukuna gawking at him like Orochimaru did with Sasuke. General spoilers for the manga, so skip here. But Megami never hit a Black Flash, he never found out about Toji for real, and he never had a complete domain. Jeez, I'm not gonna lie, just saying all that out loud makes Megami sound like the biggest bum in the series. Megami fans, if you exist out there, please fight back! Normally, I'd blame you guys for Megami having such a bad rep, but honestly, I have to blame Gege Akutami for the Megami slander. He crafted a character that is the epitome of potential. Potential, defined by Google, is having or showing the capacity to become or develop into something in the future. That's all Megami ever did. He showed that he could become something great in the future, but he was never shown to become any of these things. His reputation and his character are just filled with possibilities and nothing concrete, and that's kind of been the pattern with Jujutsu Kaisen, which has proven to have have varying success throughout the series. It makes it worse when you consider the fact that a lot of people thought that Megumi would be like the Sasuke of JJK. Skip to this timestamp in the video because we are going to be talking about the final battle spoilers for JJK. Another point of slander for Megumi's character is that Megumi was a bum in the final battle. And I'm not here to completely cape for Megumi throughout the final battle because I know that there's good reason to slander him for it. A lot of the Megumi was a bum in the final battle crowd largely stems from the expectations of his character. I remember some people thought he would be the true final boss after Sukuna was defeated. Another theory I heard was that he'd eventually regain control of his body, get powered up from being a Sukuna vessel, and eventually help defeat Sukuna. But to be fair, those were all theories and not written in stone. Furthermore, people act like Sukuna didn't purposely try to mentally break Megumi in order to keep control over his body. Maybe it's a bit of a cop-out, but Megumi being a non-factor during a lot of the final fight was just a result of Sukuna's preparations actually working. I know for me personally, Megumi did feel a little bit like a waste in the final arc. I know Sukuna took over his body and everything, but as I said previously, JJK as a series has the tendency to not fully explore a character in all their relationships. Megumi's lack of feats and being known as a bum cooked his reputation. It got so bad that when the new sequel series JJK Modulo got revealed, streets were saying that Megumi died to a grade 3 curse. Like come on, bro. They were clowning this man for a month straight every time they're talking about all the ways a grade 3 curse slimed them out. Even some of the AI slander was funny. And I'm not someone who likes AI. The slander was so good, I even laughed at the Sora AI slander. Like, check this one out.
Oh my gosh.
What the hell? Domain expansion. Chimera Shadow Garden.
This video is world-class slander. It's not generational slander like the Potential Man meme, don't get me wrong, but oh my gosh, this is some good stuff. Megumi's PR is so dirt that someone can just slap the Sora AI logo on one of the 4 things he did in the series and discredit the entire feat. They even slandered bro's shoes. Like, y'all really don't let this man live.
Wow.
There's probably more stuff about Megumi, but I think I've talked about enough already. Depending on how this next season goes though, we might have to spin back on Megumi. There's only one other character that can rival Megumi and even surpass him when it comes to slander and bad PR. And dear goodness, Deku has seen some of the worst slander of any character. Where do I even start? I guess one of the most common things I see about Deku is that he is known to be a crybaby. And yes, there are times that Deku is just crying for little to no reason at all, but a lot of the times he cries are kind of reasonable. His whole crying reputation comes from the first 3 seasons of the anime, and even then, that's probably not even that accurate. It was mainly season 1 where he does most of that crying. Furthermore, in some of those crybaby scenes, he's either a kid, broken a bone, or about to die. But trying to defend Deku and dispel all the narratives around his name has proven to be an uphill battle. When it comes to Deku, people don't care about what actually happened in the series. Deku will be slandered regardless. This is what is known as the Deku paradox, and this paradox was created by another YouTuber named Yoki, who makes good videos. Go check him out if you get the chance. This paradox's existence would make you believe that Deku has no PR team and has 0 fans, but you'd be completely wrong. Deku has shooters, but there's only so much a fan base can do versus multiple instances of generational slander. The most recent case of generational Deku slander is the street tier bully Deku memes. And may I say, this is probably my favorite slander image I've seen from 2025. It combines agenda piece tactics and power scaling. It's enough to make a grown man cry, I won't lie. For those out of the loop, Death Battle had a versus battle with Miles Morales and Deku. And if you're fairly familiar with both of these characters, you know that this isn't really a close fight. In the power scaling community, people sometimes use this tiering system to describe the power level of a character. I've seen people scale Deku from island to country level, while Miles is a street level hero. In layman's terms, Deku be doing stuff like this, while Miles is only doing stuff like this. Deku may have won the fight, but he horribly lost the war. Since people knew that this wasn't going to be a close fight, people still decided to slander Deku because why not? Thus, the title of street tier bully was bestowed upon young Midoriya. Memes flooded social media platforms, and specifically these 2 images are some of the funniest things to come out of this meme. These are generational slander images. Someone will see a character on a street and post this image under it, and we already know that Deku's about to bully someone else. They got bro huffing and puffing to fight Hawkeye and Black Widow, man. This slander was like this for a whole month, and people still know Deku as a street tier bully. One generational slander image is enough, more than enough to destroy a character's reputation. But would you believe me if I told you that Deku already had another generational slander campaign a year before the street tier bully? If we go back to the release of the last chapters of the manga, it was revealed that Deku doesn't really have one for all anymore. He only has its embers, and people were not very happy about this whatsoever. Almost immediately, I saw this panel of Deku as a
Yep. Yeah, I've seen those things too. As a legit McDonald's worker, bruh. Oh no 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 no. This one and like the meme of him being a teacher and not he is a teacher now, but he's also a hero. But before he was strictly a teacher after like the whole show, whole manga was over. Yeah, there was memes about that too. I'm like, God, jeez, bro.
Fast food worker, and dear goodness, people full on sprinted with this image. Every place you saw Deku had someone calling him a quirkless fast food worker. This meme wasn't even as funny as Street Tier Bully. It was just pure hating. This fan art dropping was the equivalent to telling Deku's PR team to defend a meteor from crashing into Earth with mere water guns. It's an unwinnable battle. The worst part about this whole smear campaign is that there was official artwork of Deku.
Nah, you have to do something about that, bro.
As a pizza worker, they had to have known what they were doing. This artwork dropped like a week after the fan-made panel was made. Generational slander was circulating throughout the anime community, and then it was compounded by official studios basically doing the same dang thing. Deku was not able to come back from this meme for a while. The ending of My Hero really brought Deku a lot of garbage. There was a week-long period where Deku's new haircut was revealed, and he was, you guessed it, getting slandered. It's not even like the ending was that bad, but geez, it's just so easy for people to get their stuff off about Deku because of the ending. Deku's PR is so cooked, and it's not even like he's badly written. At least for Megumi, his slander is partly due to the writing not fully exploring his character. I'd like to understand the reasoning behind Deku's bad PR, and it's probably just as simple as this. Anime fans don't like him, or they like to hate on him. There are many reasons why people may not like Deku. It could be along the lines of people thinking he cried too much in the first couple seasons, or him not being the perfect successor to All Might. There's a typical shonen main character mold that Deku doesn't fit into sometimes. He didn't get the ending where he achieved his ultimate goal, and he struggled to control his powers in the beginning. We've seen other characters in My Hero do what he can't, and I suppose some just don't like that aspect of his character. Then there are people who like hating on Deku, and there's one gigantic reason for hating on him. It's funny. That's it. It's funny to call Deku a fast food worker or a crybaby or a bully. There are some people or characters who achieve such a status. For those who watch basketball, Deku's kind of like a player named Jason Tatum. People just love hating on them even though they haven't done anything too egregious. Their mere existence just makes their PR bad. I'd say give it another 6 to 8 months and we'll probably see more generational Deku slander like clockwork. I genuinely don't know who has it worse between these two characters. Like, I'll look at Megumi's PR and see it in the trash, but then I'll look at Deku's PR and see it in a McDonald's toilet. It could go either way. Both of them are terrible. I can guarantee you that Deku has more fans than Megumi, but it doesn't really matter when every 6 months someone creates the funniest slander image for your character. And while Megumi doesn't really have to deal with the generational slander as often, his character is so representative of the potential man image that he can't be taken seriously. It's like a battle of fate between these two. I was gonna have like 5 other characters in this video, but Deku and Megumi have such terrible PR that they took up a majority of the video. We'll cover those other characters in a different video and add a couple in there too. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and extra thanks to those who made it this far into the video. Happy New Year to everyone, and let's all hope 2026 can be a good year. With that being said, have a great day and peace out.
Peace. Yo, shout to Olama-sama for the video, man. Yeah, the PR for these characters, man. Some not that bad, some due to the writing. It's some. Oh, jeez, my goodness, man. I feel sorry for Deku, bro. Man had to come back. Man had to had a generational comeback from the story. I'm like, yeesh, fam. Dang, that's tough. But there's more characters out there. There's more characters, and I pray and I hope that he makes a part 2, because I gotta find out who got bad PR in fiction, man. Who got bad PR in fiction, bro? Who got bad PR, man? But again, shout out to Olama-sama for the video, and for this friend Yokai. Shout out to you as well, man. Shout out to you as well. The original video link description down below. Follow me on all the socials. With all being said, this is Jeremiah. God bless you all. Jesus loves you all. Repent and be saved. I'm out of here. Peace.